The newest Pokemon set is out, Sword and Shield Lost Origin. I just got my Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes in the mail. One to open and one to keep sealed. I did go down to my LGS and buy 6 booster packs too. They gave me this Pokemon Go promo. I don't know if that's some kind of promotional thing that's going on elsewhere, but they had them and they gave me one when I picked up these 6 packs. But we'll get to those later. For now, let's actually get into this Lost Origin Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. What makes it the Pokemon Center exclusive? Well, it's mainly this Giratina Origin Form pin and the fact that it comes with 10 booster packs rather than your standard 8 for an ETB. So I'm just gonna struggle with the plastic here for a bit before I can finally rip that off and get into the contents here. We'll get this outside sleeve off to reveal a pretty beautiful card box here. I really like the foil. The way that the light's hitting it doesn't really do it justice. I really like the red and black stripes on the outside too. I think that's just a really great aesthetic. And that is one reason that I've been buying 2 of each ETB, one to open and one to keep sealed, is because opened, they have their own really nice aesthetic that looks good on the shelf, but sealed has its own really good aesthetic. Yeah, even folding out the outside sleeve, you can see the pack artwork without any of the logos or anything on there, so that's a nice little touch to have just in case you could want to make your own little display piece out of it. You also get the booklet, which is always nice to have, just to have a convenient way to flip through all of the available cards, to look at what your chase cards are. For me personally, I've got quite a few cards I'm looking for just on the competitive side, like this Banette, even the Gengar. A lot of these cards that buy into this Lost Zone gimmick that has returned seemingly just for this set. And you can't forget about Comfey. That's going to be one of the most important Lost Zone decks cards for these upcoming Mirage Gate based decks. And I really love that Gastrodon art too that is in this set, so I'm really hoping to pull at least one of those Gastrodons just to use as like a bookmark or something. But yeah, moving over to the trainers, of course you do have Mirage Gate down here, which is going to be the centerpiece of this Lost Zone engine that I think is going to pop up in a lot of different decks. Now, just looking at these full arts, there are a few chase cards for me personally. This Giratina V is definitely like the #1 chase card and the most expensive card in the set, but my personal chase cards are the Rotom V full art, just because there's so many Easter eggs in there with all the different items and stuff, but also the Aerodactyl V full art because I love dinosaurs, and they just did like this prehistoric landscape on there. The Trainer Gallery subset for Lost Origin I think is the best one so far. There are just a ton of artworks in here that I love so much. The Parasect, the Gengar, the Banette, the Spiritomb, the Snorlax, all tying into Legends Arceus, which is one of my favorite Pokemon games to date. The rest of them, you know, like the full art trainers, I'm not too interested in, especially the gold cards. I never really get hype over those, but mainly those, you know, Trainer Spotlight Showcase full arts really get me excited because you can pull quite a few of them from just a limited number of packs. From what I've seen so far in like pre-release pull rates and from other TCG YouTubers and channels, is that Lost Origin actually has a really low pull rate for their full art Pokemon V, and there's a little bit of a lower pull rate even on the Trainer Gallery cards. We'll get a good look at the Giratina pin here. It's actually a really nice high quality pin. It's got a nice shine to it. And then of course you've got your dice and your big Giratina coin, everything in here. Let's get the packs out of here. We'll come back to those later. You've got your dividers, which have that nice red and black stripe. Got your pack of energy cards. Got a code card that I'm not going to quite reveal because I plan on using it. And then you've got your sleeves. These sleeves, I've actually grown to like them a bit more. The quality in them has gone up as newer sets come out. They're not as sleek and smooth as I would like you know, from the slick Dragon Shields, but when it comes to matte sleeves, I actually like these that come in the ETBs better than the matte Dragon Shield cards, which are kind of like the highest standard for me in sleeves. But back to pull rates, I hope that's not a challenge that I run into today. I do want at least one copy of that great Gastrodon artwork. I would also really love to have one of the full art Vs that I'm looking for, either the Aerodactyl or the Rotom. I know those are incredibly rare and not likely to be pulled, but those are my chase cards. But overall, it is a beautiful set, so let's go ahead and get started in opening these packs and just admire the artwork of all of the Pokemon, full art, rare or not, and just kind of go through them. Got Phalanx, Poliwag. Love myself a good Poliwag regardless of the sets. Going through Oddish, Spinarak, Foil Spinarak, got a dark type there. Oh damn, first pack, Rainbow Rare Aerodactyl V-Star. Alright, that's a pretty strong start. Hopefully the other packs are in line with that. Oh yeah, got one of my favorite characters from Arceus, Arezu, and then Relicanth finishing off the pack. Alright, so strong start there. Not exactly what I was looking for, but I'll take it. I actually kind of prefer to have the normal V-Stars rather than the Rainbow Rare. Something about the Rainbow Rare kind of puts me off to where I just don't appreciate them as much as some other people do. Got Slugma, Tynamo, Litleo, Manfu, Mirage Gate. Alright, that's our first Mirage Gate. Gonna be looking for a playset of those just for the competitive side of things. Alright, and then we're gonna be finishing off with Porygon 2, Swanna, and Hariyama. Okay, so not a bad pack there. You know, I did get at least one trainer that will be going into a competitive deck later. Really getting into this Mirage Gate engine that I'm seeing going into a lot of decks, especially when it comes to like decks like Goodra V-Star that are just, you know, complete stall. It can be really annoying to play against, but also really fun to play, especially online, because people just get really frustrated. Mimikyu, and then, well, I spoke it into existence. Here's the normal Aerodactyl V-Star, so, you know, one of each. That's pretty nice. And it's finishing this pack off with Swanna, Hariyama. Throw a Nuzleaf in there this time. Okay, so just moving on. Let me sort the stack here. We'll move on to the next pack here. Go ahead and crack this one open. Let's see what I'm hoping for with this one. I'm not going to expect a full art since we just pulled 2 V-Stars. I'd be happy with a Trainer Gallery card. You know, pack 3, that's a good place to start pulling some Trainer Galleries, especially the Spiritomb and the Snorlax, or the Banette. And I like all of those. Just, you know, give me those purple cards. You know, speaking of which, Psychic Energy. Thornton's could be an important card moving forward. Same for Colress's Experiment. That's another supporter that's going to be going into this Mirage Gate-based engine. Okay, this is what, pack number 4? Yeah, not too bad so far. You know, 4 packs and 2 V-Stars. Kind of blasting past pull rates as far as I know, so... Okay, let's see what this pack has to offer. You know, some cards we've already seen. Got a Ghastly, Clay Ducklet, Zorua. Okay, yeah, Trainer Gallery. There we go. Chandelure with Chantel there. An underrated Elite Four member, in my opinion. Got Rhyperior behind that. Energy Bronzong, another Colress's Experiment, and another Porygon 2. All right, yeah, I don't care much for that little rainbow spirally Lost Zone kind of border that's on some of these cards, but it is what it is. It's just kind of a little gimmick to have on there, just a signature for the set, since it doesn't seem like the Lost Zone is really going to come back again, at least in the Sword and Shield era. Basculin, Surprise Attack, Jinx, which just had a Trainer Gallery revealed for the next set. Okay, we got the Gengar. We got the Netherworld Gate Gengar. This is a key card for the Hisuian Zoroark archetype that is going to be seen pretty soon. It's a way to deal pretty massive damage. Time will tell how much play it actually sees, but it is a fun archetype. Finishing up with a Komala, which I forgot was even a Pokemon for a second. And as we start pulling some doubles, I'll try to speed through these packs a little bit more. Your guys' time is valuable. Just like this Dynamo, we've already seen that one before. Let's go ahead and get that one out of the way as I straighten up the pack here. Then we'll keep going. Okay, and then we got Seedot, Horsey, Meditite, Shell. Okay, we got the Shellos with, you know, both forms of it there. Enamorous V. Okay, that's our first normal V that we've pulled out of this ETB. That's not too bad. Enamorus is maybe the least popular legendary at this point. Another Kamala, another Thornton. Yeah, I don't expect that Enamorus V to see very much play, but again, like sometimes players can surprise you with what they make work. The Aerodactyl V-Star, it has a lot of potential, but just playability-wise, I don't know how it's going to really fit into other decks, especially with how fast and aggressive everything is at the moment. That's why I would really like to pull the Hisuian Goodra and Goodra V, just because a stall tanky deck is something I think that the metagame needs right now. Just moving past the Poliwrath and the Spiritomb. Fantina, which is another Mirage Gate engine card, so good to go ahead and pull one of those. Just kind of put that over in the stack of usable cards that I'm noting as I go along. Let's get into the next one. Got Zoroark on this pack. That's a card we haven't seen yet. We got Makahita up front. Okay, Electrike, Murkrow, Shuppet with its tongue out. It's interesting. Wurmple with the creepy crawly congregation attack. That is an amazing attack name. And then you got the reverse foil Haunter with a Banette behind it. All right, that's a card we haven't seen yet. I'll take that Banette. I'll put that in the usable pile and move on. We got a Gift Energy there, Abomasnow, and Lost City. Oh, I actually do like the Trainer Gallery Pikachu VMAX that has red in the foreground too. So, you know, I wouldn't be mad at pulling one of those. Not to press my luck too far, since, you know, we've already got some pretty decent pulls for the number of packs that have been in this ETB. Nothing, you know, too expensive or valuable yet. Let's see what else we can get. Murkrow, Horsey, Mawile. Another Shallow, still waiting on the Gastrodon to show up in a pack. Reverse Hollow Abomasnow. Got a V-Star marker, that's just going to go right in the garbage. Lumineon with the Swim Freely attack. Another Mirage Gate. Okay, yeah, that Swim Freely is like its own archetype within the set. There's a bunch of different water-type Pokemon that have it. You can get different effects off of it. Nothing too game-breaking there, but I would be interested to see just how competitive somebody could make a Swim Freely deck. Just trying to adjust the light here a little bit to focus on these cards in the back. So that was all the packs for the ETB. This is starting on just the bonus packs that I picked up in my LGS earlier today. We'll see what kind of luck we can get out of just these rando booster box pulls. Got another Horsey. I'm not sure if I really remember what the Horsey to Kingdra line is really like in this set. I've not really paid much attention to that one this time around, and I haven't heard much about it either, so I'm assuming it's not a whole lot to talk about. Moving back through Spiritomb with Curse Message. Another Mirage Gate. I'll take it. And another Fantina. Okay. Fantina is a card that's going to go into those Goodra decks just to make them even more difficult to knock out. So as far as like the supporters and just like commons and uncommons, I'm pretty happy so far with what I've been able to pull. A lot of just what I need for my competitive pile. But at the same time, I've been appreciating a lot of the artwork in this set, like the Poliwag. Get rid of that code card off the back there. I don't have to worry about it. We've got Oddish, Hisuian Growlithe, another Seedot, another Slugma. Okay, Radiant Gardevoir. I haven't really seen a Radiant card yet. I was hoping to pull one of these. I really like the look of the Radiant cards. The usability of the Radiant Gardevoir is a little bit in question because it's interesting and it seems like it could fit in a lot of decks, but is it more useful than Radiant Greninja? I think that Greninja you know, engine has just worked so well for so many decks, especially Palkia, that Gardevoir is going to have a hard time finding its own place. A lot of Radiant cards are going to have a really hard time to find their own place, since you can only have one in your deck, and Greninja's just the top of the pile right now. Then we got a fun Lickitung in here. You guys know that I'm a big fan of Lickitung and the Kingdra. All right. Okay, it's got a hand recycling ability. It actually looks like the Seadra might be more useful because the Seadra has that Swim Freely. Speaking of Swim Freely, this Lumineon has it too. That the attack that is popping up on all of these water-type Pokemon for only 1 energy. So yeah, sadly, the Seadra seems to be a little bit more playable than the Kingdra as far as the metagame goes right now. Now, if you're just doing, you know, a theme deck or a pre-release draft, then yeah, that Kingdra can be pretty useful. You know, you got an attack that deals 130 damage. Why not? Why not get that boosted HP off of the Seadra as well? Okay, so we've got a reverse foil. Okay. Behind the reverse foil Clefable, a Drapion V-Star. That'll be the third V-Star of the day. Haven't really pulled the Drapion V or the Aerodactyl V yet, but that's alright. Not particularly looking for either of them, but yeah, that Drapion V-Star, a lot of people were eyeing it early on because it's built as just a Mew killer. It completely destroys Mew, but moving forward, how many Mew VMAX decks are you actually gonna see? Because, you know, even at Worlds, it had its own place there. It is still one of the top decks, but whenever new sets come out, you kind of have to test the waters a little bit and go, okay, well, does Mew VMAX and Genesect still have a place in the metagame, or are newer cards gonna edge it out? Because you do have stuff like this Drapion V-Star that just can completely wreck that deck. At the same time, maybe Mew V-Star figures out its own tech that it can use against Drapion, and that's just the way the metagame goes. Mew VMAX could just be a deck that people forget about for a while, and then a year from now it just starts showing back up at regionals, and people aren't prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and so it can move a little further up in the standings. That's why I keep saying only time will tell. So a few cards we've seen before, we'll get through those. Litwick, a Snover, Toolbox, Cramorant, get past the energy, got a Rhydon. Okay, I haven't seen the Rhydon or the Roserade yet, or the Sliggoo. Okay, I need to consult that guidebook that came with the ETB a little bit more, because I don't even really remember what the you know, the basic Hisuian Goodra does, or if it's even any good. Just get a final look at the pools. Not too bad for 16 pack openings, I'd say. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I don't do this type of video very often, just mainly about sets that I'm excited about and when my TCG products actually arrive on time, or when I can actually find them in stores on the release day. Following the World Championships, I have been getting into the competitive side of things a lot more, actually following and playing the standard format a lot more, so this set did pique my interest just because it has so much potential in it for new deck archetypes. So let me know down in the comments what your opinions on Lost Origin as a set are, and share your pulls. Let me know if you've been able to pull any of your own personal chase cards, or if you actually pulled some of mine. Social media links are down in the description. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next video. Bye.